Hey beautiful girls. So I'm gonna do a quick video tutorial on how I use my BlushSense and my bronzing powder and my translucid powder. So this is the BlushSense. This is bronze. I use this every day. This is my bronzer. It's like a really sheer bronzing powder, and it comes with a little brush like this, and then you slide it up and put the lid back on, so you can take this with you. And then this is my translucid powder. This is like the finishing powder, and this goes with every skin type. You don't need to try to match this. So it's kind of dark. I'll just lift my hat a little bit. Excuse my look. Okay, so I did my makeup, but I haven't put my blush and my powder on yet. So you can see I just have like a white finish from my foundation. And for my foundation, by the way, I use Dewy. This foundation is the best foundation. It stays on all day. It's waterproof. It's anti-aging. It protects you from the sun. Okay, so just bear with my funny hat like this. Okay. So for the blush, first what I do, I use my bronzer blush and I put it right in here. This stuff is super pigmented. This will probably last you like your entire life. So I just kind of wipe the rim around like this because the pressure is already kind of squirting it out. But you just need a tiny little dot of it. It's really pigmented. This is all I'm going to use. And you can squirt it directly onto your brush if you want. I do this, that way I can see where I'm applying it. I also do it up here, but today, since I have my hat on, I will not be doing it up there. So I'm just going to dab in my contour line. And then I'm going to take a tiny bit, and I'm just going to go right here. And I'll fix that with a brush in a minute. So then you take your brush. This is the brush I use. It's kind of fluffy, but it has a tiny bit of an angle to it, and it's not completely flat. It has a little bit of a stippling effect to it because I want, like this is my foundation brush. This is nice and flat. But this is what I use for my blush, a little bit of an angle. And all I do is I blot, and then I just kind of swirl it into my line in there. And the same goes with the forehead area. When you do it on your forehead also. But I do this to kind of just contour my face. And then I bring it up right over on here to frame my face. Sorry, my hat. I hope you guys can see the lighting. This side's probably better. And it looks very, very contrasting right now, but that's okay. I also, let me wipe some in, and then I'm gonna put it right under here, right under my jaw, to define my jaw and my neck. And then go down into here on the little V part of your neck. It kind of gives your neck a thinner look. It's not too noticeable. You can add more if you want. I add more when I'm going out. And just blend, make sure it's really blended. Okay, so you can see it looks very contrasting right now, but after I'm done as a whole, it won't look so bad. Then I take a little concealer brush. It's kind of like, it's like a flat, skinny brush like this, and I'm just gonna blend in right here on my nose. This kind of just contours your nose a little bit. It kind of gives your nose a smaller bridge if you want. I do, it kind of gives you like that little button nose look. So I just line, and then I go across right here, and then I just go under here. And you see the difference? Okay, now I'm gonna go over that, my contour line with my bronzing powder. And so what I'm gonna do is just gonna unscrew my bronzing powder because I wanna get it directly from the little sponge in here. This thing's great to carry with you. That way you don't have to carry all your brushes with you, but while I'm at home, I unscrew it. And so I'm just gonna dab. I'm just gonna finish off my contouring and give the rest of my face a tiny bit of a bronze look. That way I don't have such a contrast with my white cheeks and my contour down here. And then I'm gonna do a stippling brush that I have. It's like really poofy and really fat. It's really uneven too. So I'm just gonna kind of dab and just kind of go over everything like this. That way I kind of like carry the bronze everywhere and not just, you know, have those dark lines. Okay, and then I'm gonna screw that back on before I drop it. You can also empty this into a container if you never use the little brush that it comes with. So now I'm gonna do my powder. And I do the powder after I've done all my contouring and stuff. That way it'll kind of set it. Sorry, I have a hair on my face. And now the powder comes in the same thing. Has a little brush that you can carry with you in your purse. But I'm gonna unscrew it and use this top right here with the sponge. And I'm gonna use this brush. It's kind of like the blush brush. It just doesn't have an angle. And now, you guys, I'm not a professional. This is just what I prefer to use. You guys can use whatever you like, but I feel like I get the best with of my look with the brushes that I use for what I use them for. So some people use different brushes for different things, and there's probably a correct way, but this is what I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dip my brush into that powder, into the sponge part, and it's pretty on there. And I'm going to do something called baking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pack it in into the areas that I get more oily, or into the areas where my pores are larger and I really want makeup to stay put. And it's a little hard when you already put your mascara on. And you want to do this before you do your mascara underneath. So I'm just going to pack it in, pack it on the bridge of my nose. And I'm not blending yet, I'm just packing. So I'm gonna do it up here too, since there's a little bit of my forehead showing. And this kind of helps my brow makeup stay put too. So I'm just gonna pack. And now by letting it sit, you're letting it bake, so to speak, I think. But this is what I do. Okay, just a little bit on top of my bronze area, because I don't want to kind of smear that off. So I'm gonna screw this back on. And I'm gonna let that sit on my face. It's all packed in and it's not smoothed out yet. I'm gonna let it sit while I screw this back on. And what you can do while you're letting that sit is do something else of your makeup. Do your mascara, do your lipstick, and let that just sit on. For now, I'm gonna show you just to kind of speed it up. You can use the same brush, or you can use your stippling brush, this big fat brush that I just showed you, like a kabuki brush too. There's even some really big fat ones that would work too. And you're just gonna go back and brush off any excess powder just to smooth it out. And I'll get close in just a second here to show you. And it kind of just gives you an airbrushed look, if you guys can tell. Sometimes I need a little bit more under my eyes because I want that concealer to stay put and keep my circles, you know, hidden. But that's how I use my translucid powder, my bronzing powder, and my bronzing blush. And by the way, I am wearing Plumeria. So this is 3 layers of Plumeria. And I'll go in the sun so you guys can see. See, like, it gives you just a nice airbrush finish. My skin does not look this good without my powder, I'll tell you that much. It looks really good considering I've been using the skincare line. Looks so much better. But this finish with the bronzing and the powder just gives me that airbrush look for most of my day. I really don't have to reapply it. So I have the translucid powder, the bronzing powder in stock. I have some blushes in stock. This is bronze. I also have chocolate cherry and cherry. And they look really pretty. They last a long time because they're super pigmented like you saw. But So you can use this as a blush and go a little bit higher for some women, or you can use it as your contouring. The redder ones, the cherry one, you probably don't want to go up too high or go down too low. But let me know if you guys want to order some, and stay tuned for some more videos. Thank you.